up
Oh,
Connecticut
yeah.
Ave, yeah.
Yeah.
So I passed by those all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
no, I didn't. The last, no, two administrators, I think. Oh, when Obama came, we went to some. My son was active with him, and so that's the only time I went. Oh, actually, I had a
Okay.
wife that was active with somebody, uh, with Jimmy Carter. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I got up
Who
in the
just passed, right? Yeah.
yeah, in White House. Uh,
He had a good long life, though, considering. I feel
absolutely.
like every person who takes on the presidency really ages in those
Oh,
4 years.
right.
So for
Because
Carter to live that long was
yeah,
pretty impressive.
yeah, and he
Must have
still
been.
did good work. Most of them just sit and paint or something. I don't understand.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you could go from being like the leader of the free world to that, right? The
Right.
adrenaline come down is going to be pretty
Exactly.
insane.
God, nobody
Hmm.
answers your
Um,
calls.
yeah. So are you, I just have one more DC question. Do you
Uh-huh.
feel like a shift in energy now with the change or?
Well, DC is 98% Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that there, but it wasn't as sorrowful as it was the first time. You know, for his first administration, it was
Yeah.
the end of the world. And so, I think this time people, well, we lived it through it once, we'll live through it
Right.
again, or whatever. Yeah, it
Right.
is. I sort of feel I'm apolitical in a way. Uh,
It's probably a good thing living where you do.
yeah, it is, but it's very clannish. You have to pick a side on it. But actually, there's only one side in this town. So.
Well, in your type of work, I could imagine that there is only one side too, right?
Yes and no, but this is how I got it. See, well, maybe we'll save this because this is a good point about the
With the
work.
recording.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't I hit record?
Good.
And before we do, I'll just share. I usually record about 25 to 35 minutes.
Anything you want. If
And
I get boring, just pull the plug. Don't worry. I won't be offended.
I'll just hit stop.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I definitely get
Better
boring.
people
You
have
seem
cut
like
me
a
off.
Other than that, our audience is primarily entrepreneurs, and I always start out by asking what your backstory is, how you got to where you are, and if there's anything that you want to pitch, you're welcome to, of anything that you're offering. And my question to you before we hit record is like, what would be most helpful to you to get out of this time together?
Oh, I don't care. I want to see what's in your head, not mine. I know what's in mine. That's boring. I've been doing this 50 years. I'm here to learn. If I could help too, it's great.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, let me hit record. There's one spot. One more.
You have a family?
I do. I have 2 children. They're girls. They're 17 and 19.
Wow.
Yeah. How about you?
2 boys in their 40s.
Any grandchildren?
Yeah, we got 3 already. Yeah.
Oh, boys or girls?
2 boys, 1 girl. We had 2
Okay.
boys. Yeah.
Nice.
They're sort of fun. They're just more audience for me. I love entertaining people. They'll laugh at anything.
I can tell by the way you dress.
They laugh at anything.
How old are the grandkids?
They're 1 to 5 or 4, something.
Oh, those are really fun ages too.
They laugh at anything.
So innocent, yeah. It's like discovering themselves and their bodies and all that. It's amazing to watch the growth. All right, one more here. Matthew, it's so good to have you here with me this morning. Welcome. How are you?
Oh, it comes and goes. At 81, I look for as if I'm still above ground. So I got a pretty low bar for life.
You look amazing for 81.
Thank you.
Well, before we dive into your backstory, I'd love to hear where did your fashion sense come from, and when did you start dressing in such a fun way?
Well, this was always in me. I mean, growing up from Wilkes-Barre, which is the other side of where you are in Pennsylvania, I mean, there wasn't much fashion there, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Especially back in the 50s. And I think, and my father had a small baby clothes factory that I worked in since 8th grade. I hated every second of it. And I said, I'd never work in a factory. And I thought, oh, my thing was maybe a men's store, you know, I don't know. So that was always in there. And yeah, clothes are interesting, but I wasn't, you know, from Wilkes-Barre, your sense of fashion isn't much. It could be an ascot and you're you know, weird. And then it just kept going. And then I dressed fancy and rich, and because I don't know, you know, Armani kind of stuff, because I was doing business to business, you know, Wall Street Journal crowd. And I'd use little accents, you know, just crazy socks or ties.
For color.
Yeah, but never then, it just went on, not until my 50s. Then I just, a thing clicked in my head. I wanted to do this, I always wanted to do that. I remember back in the 50s watching a race car driver named Andy Granatelli. He was a famous race car driver, and then he was, I think he owned or a spokesman for STP additive, you made your car go faster. And I'd watch him on race car events and on television, and he had this suit with STP all over it. I said, hey, that's sort of cool. And that sort of sounded interesting to me. And so I was always looking. And then I was very active in something called the Congressional Clearinghouse on the Future. And this where we brought in futurists to talk to Congress to worry about the future when they pass a law, not just the next election, which was, and so we bring in people like Jacques Cousteau, you know. When,
I remember him.
Yeah, people like that were futurists at the time. And he just had this neat little outfit he wore all the time. It was different colors, but it was the same, his little Nehru jacket. Oh, that's sort of interesting. You sort of have a uniform that is not military, but your own uniform. And then that, but it wasn't until my 50s where one day I just had to do this. And I had one suit made, and I went down to, I was doing home shopping at the time. And I'd go down there and sell 30,000 books in a day. I mean, that was bigger than Oprah for me.
Yeah.
And I got down there with my question mark suit, and they said, you can't go on the air like that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God. And so I went out to the local store and just bought a suit to get through because didn't want to miss those sales. And that was one of the most best, very few times in life are you able to make a decision that's important. Most of them you're just trying to survive or whatever like this, but this, and particularly, I think the most important decisions are those that other people think you're hurting yourself, but you're not. Like I'd get advice, well, if they won't let me do this, this is me now, I can't do that. And they all say, oh no, you're gonna throw away the money, and you make up reasons why it's okay not to follow your heart. And I just had to do it, and nobody's giving me, telling me I should, just call me stupid if I throw away all that money. Yeah? And I did, I stopped it, and you know, within not a long time, that it just, my business grew bigger. And this became so important to me now. Now I walk down the street and people smile at me. They don't even know me or my work or whatever. It just makes people smile. And God,
yeah, I could see that.
What do we have better to do in life? And if I could make somebody else smile just because I want to do something, you know. I mean, that is a superpower, I think. And,
I agree. I totally agree.
And people treat me so nice just because I'm still the same asshole. You know,
you just look fun.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome. I love that. But what's interesting, what I'm taking away from what you're saying is that the more authentic you were and just kind of shared who you really are, the more you attracted right people into your life and are spreading joy today.
Absolutely, because if you like this, I'm going to like you. If you think I'm an asshole, we're saving each other lots of time.
So true. Right. Yep. Polarizing. Right. I always say polarizing personal brands are great. They're so much easier to market, actually.
I think we're here to grow, each one of us.
Yes, agreed.
You know, and how do you grow? It's so hard. We're trying to fit in to grow, and that's hard because that's a double entendre or something.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to fit in, but not be different.
Right.
Yeah, how do you do that? And that's hard. So to me, the older I get, to me, my philosophy is your heart is smarter than your brain.
Mm.
See, especially on important decisions or whatever. I mean, and we all get so much education and all this kind of crap, and experts that tell you what to do. And another thing that really bothers me is, how can experts possibly tell you what to do in life when everyone doesn't know what to do with their own life? You know,
Yeah.
we're all guessing.
Yes. Yes.
But
So true.
they could charge a lot of money if they convince you they know the answer, when they really don't. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right. So what has been your career path? You're doing some
the
very
start
interesting
is the
work
most
today.
important thing, and that to me anyway, because I failed at everything. I got out of the Navy, went down an MBA, started a software company that failed, started another company that failed. So I was failing all the time. And I was not having fun. And that's what changed it. If one of those succeeded, I'd probably have a mediocre company or something like that. And those failures were a godsend because I wasn't having fun, I wasn't succeeding. And so I said, hey, I'm going to do this and not have fun to maybe have fun 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. I mean, that sounds like a stupid life. I mean, certainly you have to take care of yourself or whatever. But boy, to postpone anything. So I just said, having fun. And once you're having fun, then I think that's where you find out what your superpowers are. I mean, because what's special about you is usually other people call weird. And that's a clue to that's probably a superpower. So you can do that better than anybody else. Yeah, you're trying to be a tight-ass banker. You know, a lot of people are born to do that. You can't do that. And that's all my life since then. It's been growing through listening to my heart, feeling right, and I think personal relationships are the same. You know, your professional relationships and your personal relationships is really trying to give the best you have to somebody else. You know, and so it has to be something that you're not pretending to be good at. You know, something that you're
Yes.
yeah, fake love, like making love with a spreadsheet. No, it has to come from
Impossible.
the heart. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
it does.
But we wanted to live our lives that way, because we're scared and don't know what to do.
Yeah, I call that the should.
Should.
Right, the shoulds.
Right.
Right, like I should do this, I should do that,
Exactly.
but it's not really something that
Makes
sometimes
sense.
you feel in your heart, right?
Right. Or the other way around, it could be. See, what I heard was the other way around. Your heart's saying you should do this, but logically and all the surroundings, oh no, that's crazy. Don't do that.
Right, you can talk yourself out of it.
Right, and that's why I think your loved ones are your worst enemies sometimes, because they don't want to see you fail.
Right.
And anything new you're going to do, you're going to fail, man. You're going to learn to ride a bike, you're going to fall on your ass a bunch of times before you do it.
Yeah.
Anything. So you want to do something new at 40, same thing. You're going to have to fall on your ass a bunch of times. But you go for advice and you're going to fail. And to me, you just say, yeah, I know. just don't have the argument about why you're not going to fail. Because you are, and you have to fail to grow.
Yeah.
That's what we're too. I feel we're all organic. And we have to grow, but we have to be in the right pot to grow. If you put yourself in the wrong pot, you're not going to grow.
So true. Definitely pertains to relationships.
Right.
For sure.
Exactly.
So can you share what you do for work these last years?
Well, I've always showed people about government information. I didn't know anything about it after I got in the Navy. My businesses were failing, so I was a consultant in Washington. And then I was helping Fortune 500s get money and help to grow their businesses. And I was sitting in Washington doing research. And I do go to libraries and do research and try to find them information, market studies, competitive information, all this stuff. I was finding it all in the government. I mean, the librarian would say, "Oh, you don't want to do in the library. You want to go over and talk to Charlie." Charlie's been studying, pasta for the last 40 years of his life, and nobody knows he's there down the hall. And so my client at the time was Procter & Gamble, wanted to start a chain of pasta stores. So I go down and talk to Charlie, and I'd be 2, 3, 4 hours in his room. He wouldn't let me go, man. He's been studying this for 40 years and nobody asked him.
Was he feeding you too?
Oh, yes.
Of course. Anybody who makes pasta is someone
Right.
who
And he
shows love through
right.
food. Yeah.
He was great. And I'd get all this stuff. I'd take him a name off it, but I'd thank him and sell it for thousands of dollars to Procter & Gamble. And I said, God, why doesn't everybody know about this stuff? In Wilkes-Barre, the government was the IRS and the DMV and the post office.
Right.
That's the government. And I see all my clients, millionaires, becoming billionaires because of programs there. Everybody in Wilkes-Barre got to know about this stuff, man. And now I see, and I've been doing a lot of data collecting. Here's what our economy looks like now. Capitalism, this is 2023 GDP.
Okay.
And this is capitalism side, is about 60% of everything in our economy is capitalism. And then you go here, the other side, that's what I call the free money economy. People who give out money. These people want to take money, want your money, right? These people want to give you money. This is government offices and nonprofit organizations. I had no idea about all that stuff, but it represents 40% of everything in our economy is giving away money. This is why every billionaire in town is now here with Trump. They know that's the easiest place to get money. Instead of having to...
I mean, that's probably every administration, right? I mean,
exactly, yeah, exactly.
There was certainly a lot of money being given away these last 4 years, too.
Oh, shit, yeah. Everybody, it's not new. But now I think because 8 years ago, IT guys didn't care about Washington. Now they're getting so big, they have to care about Washington. That's why it's full of these IT billionaires that were never in this town. They barely just had an office in town just, half a dozen years ago.
Right.
And they're all from the libertarian bent, they don't need government or anybody, this kind of stuff. But now they say, like, Musk, he got $4 billion already from the government. That's why he wants more. That's easier to do than raise on Wall Street. I just saw another today. Trump announced $500 billion for IT infrastructure stuff. $500 billion. And see, what bothers me, I mean, that's fine. Okay, we decide to do that, capitalism, you hire the guys or whatever. But to me, what bothers me more, and should be in Pittsburgh because it identifies with this is we have become the developed country with the most poor people in it. So the OECD countries, which are developed countries, so the richer countries. Okay, of those 30, 40 countries, we're number one in percent of population with poverty. I mean, that just is an astounding figure to me. And maybe you being a Rust Belt lady, this is income for the average person since 1980. Where back in 1980, 90% of the population created or got 70% of all the income. And the top 10% got 30% of all the income. Fast forward to 2023.
The gap is closed considerably.
Exactly. So they're winning, they're losing. So, I mean, 90% of the people are getting a smaller and smaller share of the pie. We're growing as a country, but 90% of the people are getting a smaller pie. So that's my mission, is trying to teach those 90%. You gotta use this stuff, and it's there for anybody. Doesn't matter who you are. It's just not in Google. The biggest sin is that people go to Google, and Google just wants your money, and you can't. And they're so good at marketing there, you don't stand a chance.
Interesting. So what is the best way to find out about funds?
Yeah.
And what's available to people?
Number one is only go to websites that are .org or .gov.
Okay,
And that will keep you away from anybody who wants your money. Because everything in Google is also in the free side, the 40%, but probably called different and stuff like that. We're all trained
Right.
by Google. Now, everything, you talk about entrepreneurs. Okay, here's a thing, entrepreneurs, and this is what I used all the time for my Fortune 500 companies. This is where I would go first when I try to find the money. And it's not the SBA, it's a database at the SBA. And go to sba.gov/local-assistance.
Okay.
sba.gov/local-assistance. Okay, and when you put that in, you want to take a look at it now? Can you go on it or not?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can. I
Yeah.
just wrote it down. SBA.gov/local assistance. Let me share my screen real quick. Here we go.
Okay, now you go down a little bit to put in your zip code.
Okay.
Okay, put in your zip code and put in 50 miles. Sometimes it's
Oops.
a little further. Oh, that's okay, don't worry. Okay,
Okay.
here's what you have just with 25 miles. You have one, the score, people know about them. But the other, like these other ones, now they're all consultants that are free to help you grow your business. Okay, you have 2 pages, so you must have 20 or so there.
Yeah.
And every one of them gets paid to help, 6 of them, okay. Every one of
Yeah.
them gets paid to help your business grow. So you go to Google and you'll find 200 million people that you pay them to help your business grow. You may have to start all over again, don't worry.
Oh, that's okay.
And that's what I'm trying to get people. Okay, so if you want to start a business, when it's in your bedroom or you want to hire 30 people or whatever, this is where you go to talk to somebody about it. You don't go here and ask for money. You go there and ask for help. And that's the
Okay.
important thing, because asking for money is too complicated, because they probably don't have money themselves. What they're doing is showing you where to go, how to go, what you need, to deal with this environment. You have to be like a scout in the military. You have to go out and see what the landscape is before you start anything and what's available. So if you're, want to start a pasta business, but if you put it on wheels, you can get money. You don't know what's out there to do.
Right.
And so what the little you know is dangerous, and it restricts you from having an open mind to really getting that business going. So, and that makes the best way to use these organizations is by calling and being a person, not by looking for an application to fill out, because you're
Okay.
not, no matter what, when, or where you find an application, you're not sure if it's for you. And that's why you have to call people first before you apply for anything to make sure it's not wasting your time. They know, because they give out money all the time. You read something on the internet, we can't guess what's behind all that.
Right.
And it is, but talking to people, and these are people that get paid by you. That's what people don't know.
Tax money.
Yeah, the people are afraid to even call them, but no, they're your neighbors doing this. I mean, what could be a
That's such a
nicer
good
job
point.
than to hand out money to people?
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
They're doing. So it's things like that to tell the entrepreneurs that kind of help. And then see, like even for you, to me would be getting government contracts. So you could go to these organizations, and what they will do is help you. And there's another one. God, I can't forget. Anyway, any of those will tell you about it. A special organization that even gives grants to small businesses to help get contracts. And they'll help you, and they'll help you through all the process. So you go to Google and ask to get a government contract, and your services, government buys all that stuff, And my sister framed artwork for government offices. She did $1 million out of her garage doing that stuff, just getting.
Really?
Yeah, and what's wonderful about contracts is you could grow with that. A grant, you're going to get one time or whatever, And so you're learning that process to do it. But you learn how to get a government contract, man, it's like hooking up a fire hose to the water main. They'll just come all the time, and that's sustainable more than getting a grant. So that's more important.
Right.
And the people there, again, if you go to Google, ask for help, they'll charge you a lot of money, but these people will do it for free, and that's it. And then the third thing for a business is your local. The Career One Stop Center. And if you go to careeronestop.org, and you go there and you put in your zip code, and you'll find the local office. Now, you could use these two ways, as a lot of these offices now, this is training and job training people. So they have one side of their office is help individuals get trained to get a job, even trained to be an entrepreneur. So many of them give you grants to help be an entrepreneur, even, and that's free money. The other thing is, the other side of their thing is your employees. They give you money to hire and train employees. So if you want to hire 5 people, 10 people, or you could take all your customer service people and then want to send them to classes or something like that, they pay for all that kind of stuff.
And you can find that at the career website,
One-stop.
careeronestop.org.
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote that one down too.
Yeah.
Maybe after the show, if you can look up that other reference.
Okay, yeah.
And we can add it to the show notes
It's
after as well.
Accelerator is the name. Apex, maybe apexaccelerator.us. Let me see if that
Okay.
works.
That's okay, we can look it up after.
Yeah, Apex Accelerator, one word. Accelerators, S. APEX, and then accelerators, ACCELERATORS. .us.
And that's where you can find government contracts in your industry?
Yes, actually, you find a free consultant to help you get government contracts.
That's amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's why why do I have to keep doing this? I mean, see how bad I am at business? I've been doing this 50 fucking years and nobody knows.
Well, there's a lot of people out there, so I'm sure there's many that you have taught.
But here's
and helped
another gold mine to me. So you have employees yourself or whatever, you're starting a business,
Yes.
can't pay the rent, can't pay utilities, or you have a bill that you can't pay or whatever. Go to Find Help. This will be fun if we do this. Go to findhelp.org.
Findhelp.org. Findhelp.org. Okay.
Okay. Now,
I'm gonna share my
put in your
screen
zip
again.
code.
Okay.
Is that your 15317?
Oh, it's pre-filled out, but I need
Yeah.
to fill it.
Okay, that number there is 2,494. That means there's 2,494 nonprofit organizations and government offices that give you money in your zip code.
Wow.
That's your 40% we're talking about, see?
Right.
Okay, so that's
So
why.
just pick one.
That's
Okay.
Well, another easier way to do it, because that gets a little confusing, is up in the search over there.
Yeah.
Okay, put rent.
And then pick one of these.
No, just put rent. Just leave it for rent. I mean, if you want home renters, but no. So here you have 33 local nonprofit organizations that help you pay rent.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
See, I mean, it is, now again, using this, maybe take a different skill than people are using. What you really should do is start calling these people and saying, hey, can you help me, yes or no? And then if they say no, then ask them, where else do you think you could go? Because these are people that they spend their whole day helping people who have trouble paying the rent. So they're gonna know more about this and the people in the business where you live about that than anyone else. So you talk to a half a dozen of these people and you'll get a good sense of the landscape,
Right.
for what's going on with this. And they're all free.
That's amazing.
All the money is free, everything is free.
What about seniors in high school? I'm sure a lot of parents listen to this podcast.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, if you're going to pay for college, first of all, I would reconsider that a little more nowadays because it's not the same idea. And the one thing would be to go to that Career One Stop and talk to their people about paid training programs. Like your senior can get a program that will teach them, will pay them $40,000 a year or more to learn a skill that will get $100,000 a year
Okay.
career. And these are growing leaps and bounds. And Pittsburgh has a bunch of maybe high-tech manufacturing, whether it's IT stuff, healthcare, all these. So they're pouring money into training people and not paying $40,000 to the university to maybe get a job.
Right. And definitely graduate with some debt, probably.
Exactly, which is crazy. And if you're going that route, make sure you call your state office. Every state has a whole bunch of scholarships at the state level. So you have an office at the Department of Education on scholarships. And you can maybe even start with findhelp.org and put in paying for college. Maybe you start you there, but you should start at the state level.
Okay.
And do that. And actually, another thing I think is very important, every college now has so much money.
Yes.
And you have to talk to the financial aid at that college. So before you apply, if you could go belly to belly with the financial aid office, because they have stuff, stuff comes in and out. Like I have a scholarship at a local community college that I give. I got to beat on them to give out the money.
Right. Yeah. You know, I actually have a background in higher ed administration. That's what I had studied back in the day. And I remember taking a class on financial aid, and it was offered by the director of financial aid at NYU. And my big takeaway there was financial aid is a negotiation.
Right.
So I always tell my friends that are parents whose kids are applying to college is never accept the first offer.
Exactly.
Negotiate, go back to them. You will definitely get more money.
Yeah. No, that's very true, and that we don't know. We're doing something the first time, don't know anything about it. That's why.
Exactly.
The more you could talk individually instead of email or anything like that.
Right.
It opens that door for you a little more.
Yeah.
So what else do you need money for?
What else do I need money for? I'm going to look for those government contracts, actually. I think that's a great idea for the type of work we do as an agency.
Absolutely.
You know?
Now, it may take a few months to figure this out, but this is the rest of your life, you know.
Yeah, no, it would be great to get some of those in our pipeline, right?
Right.
So Tom, can you share maybe one of your biggest success stories that you've either helped someone with in terms of getting funding or?
I got about 400,000.
I'm sure you've been doing this a long time, right?
I just got a letter here somewhere. A guy, he reminded me that I met him at Starbucks years ago.
Okay.
I used to work at Starbucks a lot, you know, just.
Get out of the house a little bit.
And he was a barista there and finally came over to talk to me. And he said he hated being a barista and wanted to become an IT. And I told him about this nonprofit that we have locally, and it's in most places. It's called PERSE, P-E-R-S-E. And what they do is train people without college degrees to be in IT. And he said he took that, and now he has the best career ever.
Thanks to you.
Right, well, not thanks to PERSE, you know. And that's whatever. Another guy recently told me about how he never was so afraid to call to ask for help. And he finally called this office in Illinois looking for a grant to fix up his home. And this lady sat with him on the phone, it sounded like about 20, 30 minutes, emailed him stuff so she could go over the application with him. He wound up getting $35,000 for her home repair. Plus, she said, next month, come back because we're giving out $75,000. And it's the phone. Me trying to get people to call on the phone is my biggest problem.
Well, it's unusual. I totally understand where you're coming from. I always think a phone call is better, but it's also so hard to get through to real people in big organizations.
Right, exactly.
So you just gotta keep pressing the right number till you can get to a live human, right?
Exactly, and that's it. I mean, if you have an easier way to get the money, but it's sitting here, you have to put in some
Yeah.
work to do it.
Yeah.
And certainly if you have an easier way to get it, but if it just takes more phone calls, I mean, it seems that most of us don't have better things to do, but we're inherently lazy. I am.
I have definitely seen that firsthand,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, do you ever get pushback from people, or do people ever think that your work is
Yeah.
controversial?
You
And how
put
do you handle
let's
that?
go scam and you'll see.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, a lot of people think I'm a scammer because and that's understandable. They're allowed to say anything. I don't
Sure.
care. And because they don't apply or they don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that never ever told me that the programs aren't real. I mean, the programs are real. I just can't guarantee anybody's going to get the money.
Of course.
I don't
Yeah.
hand out the money, so that's it. And then they have to do some work. They want it easy, and that's understandable. But
Right.
if that's
Yeah,
the
I
worst
think
that
that's-
happens to me, that's fine. I remember back in the day when I was doing lots of TV and stuff like that. I woke up one day and I'd see my stories about me because I was doing a lot of media and looking, and I had like 500 websites that said Lesko is a liar. Yeah, and that was interesting.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
How did you handle that? Did it
Yeah,
upset
it
you,
took
or
me,
were
oh,
you?
definitely, because this is back maybe 20 years now.
Okay,
But I was still, very active in the business. But again, see, those bad parts are the time you grow. And
yes,
the way I really handled it was not to take it personally. And see, how do you fight it? For me to fight that I'm not a liar, then I have to prove it, and that's a subjective thing, and I couldn't do that. But what I turned it into was how they're hurting people who need this money, not me. I don't care if you hurt me. By saying that, you're hurting people that need this money to survive. So taking that gave me energy, to fight it. Otherwise, to fight it just for me. Oh, no, I'm not an actor. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
right, you just don't,
Yeah,
I always tell my kids, if you don't give people something to fight back with
exactly.
you on, there's no
Right.
fight anymore, right?
Exactly. That's why you just say, like I remember doing the Today Show, and I forget who the young lady was that interviewed me. He said, Matthew, aren't the applications hard? I say, yes, but did you know you could get a house for $1? Or do you know?
Yeah,
You just say
so
yes.
worth
Yeah, right. I'm not 3 minutes. I'm not going to waste it explaining the application.
I mean, otherwise you're working at least 20 years to pay for that house. What's harder,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's next on your horizon here? You mentioned you're 81 years old. You've got some
Yeah.
great books out there. You're
Well,
a
no more
published
books.
author.
I don't do that. I have a community called letsgohelp.com. And we have 15,000 people. And it's not, I was trying to figure out, after people stopped buying books, I had to think of a way. I wanted to make some money too to pay their bills. And
Sure.
so we started a subscription thing, and this thing turned into something I had no idea. It's turned
Really?
into a community, where people help people. Now I
love it.
rarely help anybody. It's members that get something, and they help other members get something. And so it's 15,000 people. So every day we have 3, 4, 5 hours on Zoom calls that you could join and ask people who got the money how they got it. And it's not me. It's other members that joy, and it's all, I call it a loving community, because what we're trying to do is love more and help other people more. And the people who do that see the joy in that. And so
Yes.
they volunteer to do this. That's why I'm doing this. It feels so good. I mean, geez,
Yeah.
I know a phone number that could change your life. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's dangerous to give a guy
fascinating.
like me. Yeah.
Is that a paid community to join it?
Yes, $20.
A month. That's
Yeah,
great.
right. So that's what I wanted to be trying to want to be the $5,000 guy or whatever, because in
Right.
financial services you could charge anything you could get. But I wanted for people, and also the most important thing about it, I didn't even think it'd be profitable, but it's so profitable. We give every month anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 back to members in grants. We give, which is about 70% of our sales, we give back to members. It's
Okay.
profit, so that's what we do with our profit. We pay us first, and then the profit we give back to members. Because
How big is your team?
maybe a half a dozen of that, part-time and full-time. So it's about
So-
40% of our sales we give back.
So I just did some quick math. So you've monetized the 15,000 people at $20 a month.
Everybody
That's
doesn't pay all the
300,000 a
time.
month. Is that
No,
really what you do?
no.
Okay.
But yeah, they all don't pay.
Yeah.
Most of them do.
But
Yeah,
still, let's
right.
just remove 5,000. That's still
Right, yeah,
great
yeah.
money.
No,
So
it's more. That's, it's more than we need.
That's amazing. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Good for you.
Yeah.
How did you get the word out about that community? How did you market it? Or was it just people telling people? Because sounds like such a helpful community.
It is. It's telling people the skepticism about it, and I think me
Yeah.
as I'm a good and bad representative, because everybody looks at me crazy and it must be a scam, and it really does take work to, when they come in. That's why I like about only $20, so they could work on it till it happens for them. No, I don't do paid ad. Once in a while, I stick my toe in paid advertising. I can't get that done yet.
Yeah.
Uh, I did in the past, and infomercials did very well. So direct marketing is my background.
Okay.
But now I just use social media.
Yeah.
And the main one for us is YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing videos.
Yeah. No, I do personally. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, maybe a day.
Uh-huh.
But
Well,
not
you've got
to
a great
edu-
personality for
Yeah.
video and look. So
and the content, I'm trying to share content kind of thing. And that's why I just did a story today about how I heard this on NPR. This lady started a nonprofit a couple years back to help people who were lost everything in the fire. It wasn't the current one. It was one about 7, 8 years ago. And she came back to their hometown, started a nonprofit, and now gives grants for people to get new septic tanks, people to get 5 feet of stone around their house to keep the fire away and everything.
oh yeah.
And
yeah.
to me, that's an see how help is out there from places you would never know.
Yes.
How'd you know this lady has $15,000 for you to get a septic tank?
Right. Right.
And that's why we have 40% of our economy is giving away stuff to people to help them. So this is, I think, okay, you could understand, okay, it's for a community, sort of like the firemen or something. If your neighbor's house is on fire, you don't go over and ask for their credit card first.
You're right. No. First you try to bring some water, put the fire out, right?
And that's what Google is. Yeah, they want to help you,
Got
but
it.
first
Yeah,
your credit
yeah.
card has to work. So that's why it's
Yeah.
this community thing. And
Okay.
that's why, that's more interesting because I was never community oriented. And I do that now. And even saying the word love, growing up in Pennsylvania in the 50s, a guy saying love, you had to get married.
Too funny. Well, Matthew, this has been a really inspiring interview. Where is the best place for people to learn more about you and tap into your resources and an amazing electric personality?
letsgohelp.com or
Let's Go Help.
YouTube.
Okay.
You could learn a lot of stuff there. I have all the sources I talk about are on my YouTube, which is Matthew Lesko, youtube.com/Matthew Lesko. And
Excellent.
if you want to throw us some money, that's letsgohelp.com.
Perfect. We'll put those links in the show notes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Those are some great resources. We'll be sure to put all those links in there.
Good.
And I am going to look for some government contracts.
Yeah. No, definitely. And make an appointment with those people at Apex. Yeah.
At Apex. Okay,
You'll have
I
a
will.
local office to do that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Anything else anything I can do to support you or
You
your
have.
cause?
This is nice to share with people.
Yeah.
But also, to me, what I enjoy is watching your face when I show you stuff. I mean, to think, a smart lady like you, you're in business, sexual, everything, boy, the people that are aware of this,
Yeah.
is just, that's why I don't think I should be doing this. The government should be.
They're not going to do that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. There's so much bureaucracy.
Right, I've been waiting
So
for
much.
40, 50 years. So I'm running out, the sand's running out of the hourglass here, so I gotta do it.
Do you have any proteges in your community or within your
I don't know,
like
I don't, not that I'm grooming or anything I know of. A lot of people
Have
that
you-
give nice comments and,
Yeah.
but I,
What about anybody that works
yeah,
for
I mean,
you?
now, this is the first time, maybe in the last 6 months or so, I say, hey, maybe this can go out, because, mainly because of the people that are helping other people.
Right.
So I don't have to help people. And
Yeah.
so in some form it can be. And there's two parts, big parts of our business, and probably for you, in a service business, it's the marketing is the key. So
Yes,
I mean,
totally.
you don't have a business if you don't have a customer, so you.
Right, that's so true.
Everything else is detail.
Yeah.
And then designing the community. And that's something I'm not good at because I'm not patient enough. But I got a great help with that now.
Oh, good.
So great help with marketing, great help with that. So that's two pretty good pillars.
Yeah, very
if I
good
do get hit,
pillars.
if I do get hit by a bus tomorrow.
God willing you don't, but it is good to have a succession
Yeah.
plan when, it sounds like you took decades to build your body of work and it's
50
so
years.
impactful. So, yeah. So it's
No,
something to
and that's
consider.
sort of nice. I mean, that's not important to me for some reason. It just.
What?
Leaving something, or I'm more interested in my life.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here. I don't give a fuck.
What's an average day like for you?
Doing videos.
What time do you wake up?
How many people could I love today? I'm really, boy, that is the one thing. See, at 81, men, you can't get stronger, you can't get faster, you can't get smarter. All those things are going downhill, and I can't stop them. But I can love harder. So that, for the rest of my life, is how do I love as hard as I can? And that's really through helping people somehow. And opening, because when my heart is open, man, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
What is love about
Yeah.
when you have this thrill of love in the beginning, and how do you keep that open?
It's by staying open, right?
Right, exactly.
And not taking things too
Right.
personally and
Yeah.
just, yeah. Are you a person of faith?
Religion, no.
No?
I
Really?
grew up Catholic, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you're not a practicing Catholic?
No, Jesuits got me out of that. They made me think.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, all that spiritual stuff, I mean, who knows what? I mean, there's, like, I think I mentioned this earlier, telling somebody how to use their life is the biggest sin in the world. And what we're here. Go ahead.
What do you think will happen to you one day when you pass away? Do you think there's everlasting life?
I don't know.
Think your soul lives on? You don't think about it, really?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's an intellectual thing, but I don't know. What are you gonna prove any of this shit? This is what I can't understand. When I was in marketing a lot, and the FTC saying, "Oh, you got to prove this shit." These pastors and everything proving about afterlife, they can't prove any of that shit. What they?
Yeah.
How do they get away with this?
Right. Yeah. Do you pray ever?
No, not since I was a kid or whatever. I think that you do different things. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what praying is anymore. To me, it's people and appreciating people and trying to love people and appreciate them for whatever the hell they are, so we
yeah,
have that power to give somebody else a special gift to open their heart by
right.
opening your heart to them.
Yeah, the reason I asked is, I mean, I feel like love is really the basis of Christianity and really Jesus's teachings, right? Like, I mean, that was the
Unless,
primary.
unless you're involved in the Crusades or something, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, it just feels to me that you're living a really good, maybe you're not practicing your faith, but you're certainly doing God's work while you're here, and I think
Well,
that's
if there is such a thing,
more
I
important thing.
feel that more than anything, because then the more I
Mhm.
open my heart, the more I think, this is what I should be doing.
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
I could, 2 more minutes to maybe give somebody a phone call
Mhm.
to help them somehow, man, that's a big responsibility. You don't understand
It
this
is.
young lady.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's huge, really. It can change somebody's life, like you said.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
Why, but what a gift. I never thought I'd live a life like this ever.
Mhm.
Shit, I was just trying to feed myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Growing up in a coal mining town,
Yeah, yeah.
and now, I mean, I've had more fun now in life ever. And I say, my joke is, if I knew being 81 was this much fun, I would have got here earlier. Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
I've done more than I ever thought I'd be doing. I mean, being on
Mm.
Oprah a bunch of times and all this kind of stuff. 2 New York Times bestsellers, and I flunked English. Yeah, I mean, I never thought of that.
Mhm.
But now this is better than any of that. All that stuff is
Mm.
really to impress other people.
Yeah. Well, it gets their attention, right? And it gives you
Yeah,
credibility in
yeah.
certain standards. So, but
Right.
then you can give them your medicine.
Right.
Well, Matthew, it's been such a pleasure meeting you today. Thank you for making time to spend with me
Hey,
this morning.
I'll make time anytime.
Well, let's stay in touch, and I'm
Okay.
going to let you know how things go for me on
Please,
Apex.
please,
All right.
please.
Thank you.
Take care of those 2 ladies.
I will. Enjoy your grandchildren too.
I try.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, let's see. Am I still online? Meg Pie. Let me see, maybe we can answer some questions on YouTube, okay? I'm gonna get on YouTube for you guys. I've been teaching people. Okay. Okay, getting on YouTube, see who's live still there. By the way, YouTuber, we have, if you want to join Let's Go Help for $1, go to http dot letsgodollar.com. So you could join there for $1 for 5 days. So you get unlimited help for 5 days on Let's Go Help, okay? And then it's $20 a month after that. Jubilee Nails, do they give government contracts for? Yes, they do, Jubilee. And here's where you want to go. APEX. Let me get that. Accelerators. ACCELERATORS.US. Okay, go to that website, apexaccelerators.us, and make an appointment with a local counselor, okay, to learn how to get government contract. Okay, if you need a car, we have a report, if you're a member of Let's Go Help, on all the programs for car and car repair. Or go to Find Help. Findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and then put in car. And you'll see the programs that are available where you live that help you buy cars or fix up cars. There's more than that, but that's a good start. Any help for getting a car that would help me? Yeah, okay. What makes you happy when you're all alone? I wonder if I'm better off going to the United States Court of Federal Claims. I don't know for what, David. Denied benefit claim, no. If you're denied a benefit, no, you go to here. Don't go to courts, no. You go to your elected officials. commoncause.org. And you go to that website, commoncause.org, and then you put in Find My Representative. You're looking for your senators and your congressmen. And then you call them and ask them for help to investigate that for you. What is the one thing that makes you happy? What happened to GICS? I have no idea what they are, David. Denied benefit plans. Do they give government contracts for service-based business? Yes, Jubilee did that. Thank you, Treasurer Mays. What makes you happy? I wonder if I'm better off going to the United States. No. Do you have a service-based business? But it helps many people. I'm signing up this week. Thank you, Jubilee. I'm in Shag. Doesn't matter where you are. This works in every state, every city. You're going to have to do some work to do it, though. Okay. Kenny Howard, my cat is not safe for my wife to drive. Could really use the help. Car is not safe. Okay, then go for help with the car is findhelp.org, and then put in car, and you'll see. And then you have to start calling all those organizations there to see if they can help you. And if they don't, then, or if they can't, then you ask them who else can help you. You have to get leads. You talk to people who can't help you to help you get other websites of people may be able to help you. Hi, Deanna. I like your blazer. Yeah, okay, I think I got this. Okay. Okay, guys, I really got sick and forgot to sign up for FAFSA last year. How do I know? Oh, that's silly. I was a year from I called them and they wanted me to pay in full to go back. Where should I go? Go to studentaid.gov, studentaid.gov, and call them to see what they have first, studentaid.gov. And look at the bottom, you'll see their phone number. You may have to wait online for a while, that's okay. You have to talk to people, just don't do what somebody says. Talk to people first that are experts, that are not there to sell you anything, okay?